What's going on, YouTube? My name is Immortal Coil. Today we're doing something that I don't normally do, and I don't know how many of these kinds of things I'm gonna really get into, but we're going to look at Ivan Ortega's official teaser trailer for Star Wars: The Last Jedi Fixed. Now, for those of you who don't know Ivan, Ivan's a fellow martial artist. He's a humble guy. He has that sort of like asshole sense of humor that we all find charming and endearing. And he's taken it upon himself to re-edit The Last Jedi. Now, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I was severely disappointed by The Last Jedi for reasons that if you watch Ivan's channel, if you watch Geeks and Gamers, if you watch that Star Wars girl, if you watch Comic Artist Pro Secrets, they go into, and Mindless Entertainment, let's throw in Jesse too, they go into so much excruciating detail about why this was such a terrible film, and it basically boils down to a social justice warrior politics that were injected by the film's creators, the creative group at Lucasfilm, and in particular Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Roundhead Johnson. So Ivan has re-edited the movie and actually refilmed the fight scene. And I don't know how much of that's going to be in the trailer, but Ivan specifically reached out and said, hey, I would appreciate it if you guys reacted to this and let me know what you're thinking. I've seen a lot of reaction videos before, and again, it's not really my thing to do, but I owe it to Ivan because he's a badass. So here's to you, buddy. Sip a swill. And in 3, 2, 1. Lucasfilm Limited. Hands it back.
And then it happened, just as I saw it. He turned.
I don't know what it is, what to do with it, and I need help.
You need a teacher.
Skywalker lives. The seed of the Jedi Order lives. As long as it does, hope lives in the galaxy.
I'm digging it. So we actually see Rey's training.
No one's ever really gone.
That's right. Yeah. He's got his real lightsaber back. Bravo, sir. That really kicked ass. Now here's the thing, is that when you watch a trailer, it should make you kind of like salivate for you know, the final product. Now here's what's ironic about Disney and Lucasfilm, is that the original trailer for the theatrical release of The Last Jedi kind of did that. Like we got this sense like something big's gonna happen, and we got to see Luke again. We all missed Luke, and as Mark Hamill himself will tell you, it was the most elaborate entrance in film history. I agree with that. And basically, J.J. Abrams took all this good stuff and handed it to Rian Johnson on a silver platter, and then Rian Johnson went, wee, and then we got what we got, and it really upset a lot of people. So I'm just going to go over a few like highlights in this. Number one, I want to talk about the music, and I don't know if this is like something that you downloaded or if it was something that you, because I know he's a musician too, Ivan. but the emotional notes went perfectly with the imagery. So we'll go over some of that here. Okay, so you first see Luke holding his father's lightsaber, and he hands it back to Rey instead of just chucking it over his shoulder, which was really, really disappointing. That's like the first point in the theatrical cut that I supremely disagreed with. Because, I mean, he's holding it in his robot arm. His father cut off his arm, and he sees his father's lightsaber again. And what's he going to do? No, that's not what Luke would do. I think what Ivan did is what Luke would really do. So then we cut to a scene where Kylo is standing on the bridge, thinking about his life, looking out of the Bayview window, much like his grandfather did. Now here's the thing, and I don't know how much Ivan's going to end up changing in the final cut, but in a strange way, I thought in the theatrical release that Kylo's character was probably the most fleshed out, even though I still think he's a complete bitch. He actually, topless scenes excluded, kind of had a story arc, and he kind of went somewhere. But by the end, when they're fighting on fake Hoth, all that's undone. So next, we actually get to see Rey training. Now here's one of my big problems with The Last Jedi was that there was no time gap. Okay, she got off fake Tatooine, jumped on the Millennium Falcon. Suddenly Chewie's her best friend, and they fly to Porg Island, and then like the next day, she's a Jedi Master, and that's just not how.
That's not how the Force works.
The way that it works is that you have to earn it. You see great masters, like even Anakin, who's, yes, I'm going to say the midi-chlorian word, he was unprecedented in Force potential. Okay? Potential. Okay? If they would have left him in Watto's junkyard, he probably would have been the most powerful janitor ever. But what happened? No. Qui-Gon found him and said, oh my God, you have prodigy. You have potential. So I'm going to take you to the temple. And they said, nah, he's too old. And he's like, F it, I'm going to train him anyway. I don't need your permission. And then what did Anakin do? He jumped in a ship and he went and blew up the bad guys. So the council was like, yeah, sure, he can be a Jedi. Except Yoda didn't like that. And who knows? Maybe we should have listened to him, but if not, we would have no Luke, and Rey would probably still be digging up garbage on Jakku. So she goes through this arduous training. We can see her say, I don't know what I'm doing. And Luke says, you need a teacher. Yeah. Yes, you do. And who better to teach you than the son of the chosen one? So then we go to the throne room scene. Now, I'm not sure as to what Snoke's fate's going to be in Ivan's cut, but that was another point in the theatrical release that let me down. Now, here's what I'm saying, like all of this terrible story was very artfully executed. So if you're going to get impaled through the side by a lightsaber and then it comes out and you catch it, that's a good idea on its surface. But we got no depth to Snoke. There's no reason why we should care if he's dead or not. We just see him like as a hologram going like, I'm a scary bad guy. And then, Kylo, you get the fuck in front of me. Excuse my mouth again. Kylo, you get in front of me, take that stupid mask off, and, kill your true enemy. And he kills Snoke. So where did Snoke come from? Doesn't matter. Why is he the leader? I don't know. Doesn't matter anymore. Kylo's going to be the big boss now. Okay? Thanks for explaining that to us. Yeah. Okay. So then we kind of get the impression from Ivan's throne room scene that Kylo might have some further dark side training he's doing. Now, it's not really appropriate to call him Sith because, well, Anakin destroyed the Sith. But they are dark side users. And by the same token, well, I would kind of define Luke as a gray Jedi, seeing as how his philosophical point has kind of turned around. And after his temple fell, he went looking for answers, and he found the first Jedi temple on Octo, and had all these tomes, the collection of, you know, like the Idiot's Guide to Being a Jedi. I don't know, but he went back to the original source, and this I can kind of liken this to a martial arts journey. Okay, I started off doing Yang style Tai Chi, which the way that my teacher taught it, they taught it as a practical martial art. So it's not just boiling spaghetti noodles. It's like, no, here's where you like twist someone's head around, and here's where you break an arm, and here's where you kick them in the jewels. You know, that kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, this is fascinating. I can't believe more people don't know about this. But then I saw a video of Grandmaster Chen Chao Wang doing Chen style Tai Chi, which is a lot closer to Shaolin boxing, and I was like, that's what I need to do. So I went back to the source. It's like you're on the branch of a tree, you go to the trunk of the tree, and then you find the root. And once you can discover that, then your potential is limitless. Now, whatever martial art you want to study, go back to the root. Figure out who invented the stuff, figure out who that lineage is, and then study with them. Pretty simple. Otherwise, you're just going to be dancing. And that's kind of what Rey does in the theatrical release, if you think about it. She's out there playing with her stick in front of training mountain, and suddenly she reaches in her bag and pulls out Anakin's lightsaber. It's not Rey's lightsaber, it's Anakin's. And she starts swinging it around. And in the theatrical release, Luke's kind of sitting there going like, okay, what's this kid doing? I guess that's all right. But then she gets distracted and slices a rock in half, and then Luke's like, nah, I was right. I don't need to train her. But Ivan's cut gives you the impression that it's kind of like that Dagobah scenario. Yeah, I sense your raw force potential. You need a teacher. Let's get up there and do 100 force push-ups or whatever they do, you know. There was a really good joke where they had a behind-the-scenes picture where she was wearing him like a backpack, like Yoda. Yeah. And we didn't get a sense of that because of the lack of time jump. She just like magically understands the Force, and she's like, look, if you're not going to fight, screw this. I'm going to jump in the Millennium Falcon and fly to, I don't know, bad white guy space fleet and take on this dude myself. So let's see. Then we have the reunion of the Skywalker twins. Now I know Princess Leia, Organa, but they're really the Skywalker twins. Now I don't know if he's going to do the Mary Poppins like through space thing. I don't know. There might be a way in his edit to give Carrie Fisher a respectful send-off for the character, because as we all know, we lost Princess Leia, the actress, very terrible. But if you want to really know what I think on the part of her spirit, she sensed the future about what's coming on, and she's like, I can't stick around for that. No. And she went back home. But also what's interesting is this scene and the one that follows it implies that Luke is actually physically present on fake Hoth, which I think he really needed to do. And I don't know if Ivan went this route, but what I really wanted to see was there was a scene in the theatrical release where he goes to a cliff and he's looking down in the ocean, and there's his X-Fighter. And he needs to do what he couldn't do on Dagobah, that Yoda did. The do or do not, there is no try. Except this time, he doesn't even have to try, because he's badass Luke Skywalker. Whoosh, here comes my jet. Pah. Gonna like force clean it real fast, get all the water out of the things. It would be nice if R2 was still there, because actually in the theatrical cut, R2 kind of guilt tripped Luke into getting his ass back into gear. But I think in Ivan's cut, Luke is going to be a fully realized Jedi, and he's not going to need kicked in the butt by his, you know, little squeaky droid. R2 is going to just like run through and make sure all the wires and everything are still working, and he's going to, you know, jump in the back, just like Trench style. We're going to see that classic pairing again, and then he's going to fly. He's going to fly to fake Hoth, because he's the only one that can really stand up to the First Order. And not only that, but he's really the only one that Ben is scared of. Kylo Ben, right? Uncle Kylo Ben. So, now there's another great video that I'm going to link in the description. It's the How It Should Have Ended. That's a channel, and they did an animated version. It's hilarious. But watch that, and I think that kind of a fight sequence, where basically Rey and Luke Skywalker are taking down the entire First Order offensive line. And that, you know, I mean, they did it in a kind of cheeky way, but that was actually more entertaining than the theatrical release of The Last Jedi. Now, how come a guy in his basement, what's two guys in their own basements, okay? And it might not even be their basements. Let's call them creative studios. Two guys in their own creative studios can make a more entertaining product than something that cost millions of dollars to make. Sure, it grossed $1 billion, but we didn't know what we were gonna get. I paid like $14 for a pile of dog excrement, and I was like, I actually fell asleep during the movie in the theater. I fell asleep. And I was like, I'm not going to pay for this. And then my friend actually paid for a ticket for me. And I was like, okay, look, maybe sometimes when you first see a movie, you're like, I don't understand this. And since they're paying for me, sure, I'll go see it again. I was right. And it's stupid because my friend liked it. So we had to disagree. I pointed out the stuff that I thought was wrong, which is basically what the channels I mentioned before always said. And this was even before I started watching these guys. It was terrible. So we get that reunion, which is good. Next, we cut to like the danger room, the situation room. And you can see the ominous, oh my God, they're right outside. They're gonna like bust down this door and turn us into Aunt Beru and Uncle Lars outside of the Tatooine igloo. You know, you get that sense of danger. And once again, masterful use of music, Ivan. You really understand that. And then we have a flashback to the burning of the Jedi Temple. No. That's not the Jedi Temple. That is actually Luke walking outside to say, here's my balls. Here they are. You have one chance to get on your knee and kiss them, or I'm going to just like destroy all of you. All of you, by myself. I'm like Jedi Master Luke effing Skywalker. The Jake you know is gone. And then here's the big payoff. Here's what and I don't know how long it took for him to do this, or if he had help doing this, but Luke has his green lightsaber. And that was one of the things in the theatrical release. You saw that he came in with Anakin's lightsaber. And that's when you know something was screwy. Because we saw Rey and Kylo go to Anakin's. So why would he have it? And how come Kylo didn't recognize that, because they imply that that was his training weapon when he was still Good Boy Ben. He would know that blade, and he would know that that blade got destroyed. And I don't care how magical Luke Skywalker is, he's not going to have that blade. Kylo should have known something was up. And it could have been like a shooting sequence thing. They might have shot this scene first, and then gone and shot the scene where, you know, they're fighting the guards, and he has a knife 1 minute, and then he doesn't, so that Rey doesn't get, yeah, effed in the A. But Ivan fixed this. He has his proper saber, and he looks like he's about to kick some ass and take some names and use his lightsaber to write Luke was here and the sides of these like fake AT-ATs that look like pachyderms somehow. And then we get the logo, The Last Jedi, Star Wars, re-edit. Alright, Ivan. You got me hooked, buddy. I want to see this. I can't wait until you make the link live. Okay? Now at this point I don't have that much of a reach, but I want you guys to go and follow Ivan Ortega. That's his name. I'll put a link to his channel. While you're at it, you might as well check out the other circle of people. You got Geeks and Gamers. You got that Star Wars girl. You got Ivan. You got Comic Artist Pro Secrets. And you got Mindless Entertainment. Those are like my main go-to people for this kind of stuff. Quick addendum here. I should have mentioned World Class as part of the list of humans that you guys should investigate, because, well, they're the same kind of people we are. So for that, I get the lightsaber through the head. And again, I don't normally do this kind of thing. I just, Ivan asked. I find him to be an honorable human being, so I'm going to do my part. So, with that, I bid you guys adieu. Take care. Have a nice day.